Our topic of discussion is Git. Here are the top 20 Git interview questions along with the answers. What is Git? Git is a distributed version control system designed to handle everything from small to very large projects with speed and efficiency. Explain the difference between Git and GitHub. Git is a version control system while GitHub is a web-based platform that provides hosting for software development using Git. How do you create a new Git repository? Use the git init command in the desired directory to create a new Git repository. What is the purpose of the git clone command? Git clone is used to create a copy of a remote repository on your local machine. Explain the Git workflow. A typical Git workflow involves cloning a repository, making changes, staging those changes, committing them, and pushing changes to a remote repository. How do you check the status of your local Git repository? Use the git status command to see the current state of your repository. What is the difference between a commit and a commit message? A commit is a snapshot of changes, and a commit message is a description of the changes made in that commit. How do you revert a commit that has already been pushed and made public? Use git revert to create a new commit that undergoes the changes made in a previous commit. What is the git branch? A git branch is a pointer to a specific commit, allowing for parallel development and isolation of features. How do you merge two branches in Git? Use git merge to combine changes from one branch into another. Explain the difference between a merge and a rebase. Merging combines changes from different branches, while rebasing integrates changes by moving or combining a sequence of commits onto a new base commit. What is Git conflict and how do you resolve it? A conflict occurs when Git cannot automatically merge changes. To resolve it manually, edit the conflicted files, mark them as resolved, and complete the merge. How do you stash changes in Git? Use git stash to save changes temporarily, allowing you to switch to another branch or address an urgent issue. What is the purpose of the git ignore file? The git ignore file specifies files and directories that Git should ignore, helping to avoid unintentional commits of temporary or generated files. How do you rename a remote repository in Git? Rename the remote repository URL using the git remote set URL command. What is the git bisect used for? Git bisect is used for binary searching through commits to identify the commit that introduced a bug. How do you undo the last git commit? Use git reset head to undo the last commit while keeping the changes in the working directory. Explain the purpose of git fetch and git pull. Git fetch fetches changes from a remote repository without merging them, while git pull fetches changes and merges them into the current branch. What is git cherry pick? Git cherry pick allows you to apply a specific commit from one branch to another. How do you delete a branch in Git? Use git branch -d branch name to delete a branch locally, and git push origin -delete branch name to delete it on the remote. These questions cover various aspects of Git and can help assess your knowledge of version control and collaborative development with Git.